Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another tutorial. It's me IG and I'm back with a new tutorial. On today's tutorial, I want to show to you guys the simplest way to achieve this beautiful sleeve that I attached to a bustier blouse that I made. It is a bustier blouse with 720 degrees peplum. So this is the blouse. I attached the sleeve to it, so I want us to share with it. So before that, I'll say a very big thank you to all my subscribers, both new and old. You guys are welcome. And if today is your first time of seeing my channel, you are highly welcome. So guys, let's get started. So now, this is my top that I've already finished making. This is a bustier top with 720 degrees peplum. Do you see it? So lovely. So now I want to attach the sleeve. So the best way to attach this sleeve, I want to show to you guys. This sleeve that I want to achieve now is a double sleeve. It is the normal sleeve with ruffle. The ruffle is going to make it the double. So now guys, I've finished attaching the front and the back panel together. So the next thing to do now is to minus the measurement I have here from my round shoulder measurement. So on the front side I have 12 inches. On the front side I have 13 inches. From here, from this place to here, I have 13 inches. Minus 1 inch from it, you are going to be left with 12. 1 inch is for the seam allowance, the half inch this side, half inch on this side. And at the back, I have 14 inches at the back. Minus 1 inch from it, it is 13. Half inch to join it to the sleeve and half inch to join it here, which is 1 inch. Minus it from this 14 inches, you will be left with 13 inches. So the round measurement I have now is 25 inches. 12 in the front and 13 at the back is going to be 25. So this 25, I'm going to minus it from the round shoulder measurement of the person that I'm making this clothes for. And the round shoulder measurement that I'm using is 46. So minus 25 from 46, you will be left with 21. This 21 inches, I'm going to divide it in two. Remember, it is the two sleeves. If you divide it in two, you are going to have 10.5. One on this side, 10.5, and another 10.5 on this side, which is going to give you 21 inches. So that 21 inches, plus it with the 25 we have, you will get the full shoulder measurement of the person you are making. So if you are making an off-shoulder blouse and you want to attach your sleeve, the simplest way, after joining the front and the back, check what you have from here to here, check it, and also at the back, then minus it from the round shoulder measurement you are working with. You are going to get the exact one to use for your sleeve. So now 10.5 inches is what I'm going to use on this side, 10.5 inches on this side. So now let's assume that this is my material. I'm using this paper to draft it, after which I will now use it to cut out the main sleeve before the ruffle one that is going to come on it. Now guys, let's assume that this is our material. Here is our material. So we are going to insert it, the measurement on our paper, after which I will use it to cut out the sleeve. That is the normal sleeve, and also I will use it to cut out the ruffle sleeve. So the first thing to do, remember we are working with 10.5 inches as our sleeve length. That is the width of our sleeve is 10.5. Add it 1 inch, making 11.5. This 11.5, you are going to divide it in two by folding your material. So if you fold your material and divide 11.5 by 2, you are going to have 5.75. So this is my 5.75 here. I'll mark 5.75 here. I will mark it. And now you are going to use your cap's height to determine where you are going to place your chest line. So now the cap's height, now you are going to use your cap's height to determine how to come down to the sleeve. So now the cap's height I'm working with is 4.25. How do I get it? Divide your bust, any bust you are working with, divide it by 12. Whatever you have, add it half-inch allowance. That is your cap's height. So what I have, 45 is the bust that I'm working with. I divide it by 12. I had 3.75. Add it half-inch. Is going to give you 4.25. So here I'm going to mark my 4.25. This is my 4.25. On this 4.25, I'm going to measure my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16 inches. Divide it by 2. You are going to have 8. Add it half-inch allowance. That is 8.5. Do you see it? Here is my 8.5. Here is my 8.5. So now let's make it into a straight line. So now let us make it into a straight line. The first normal sleeve before achieving our ruffles. Here is the length, that is the shoulder that we are working with to determine your armhole. That is 8.5 plus half-inch seam allowance, that is 9.5. And on this 9.5, I'm going to connect it to this side. That is connected to the 5.75, that is the shoulder, that is the sleeve opening here. So now what is the bicep I'm working with? The bicep I'm working with is 18 inches. But before then, let us determine our length. The length of the sleeve we are working with, the length of the sleeve that we are working with is 11 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. That is 12. So here, also come down by, or let's make it 10 inches. We'll make it 10 inches. And the seam allowance will now make it 11 inches. So that is the length. That is the length of the sleeve. The first normal sleeve. That's the length. So now the bicep I'm working with is 18. And 18 divided by 2 is going to give you 9. So I'll place my 9. Here I have my 9. Do you see it? So that when we sew it, is going to accommodate it. But the opening that I'm working with, that is the opening here that I'm working with, where the length that is going to stop is 16 inches. Divide it is 8. When you divide it in 2 is 8. Then you add 1 seam allowance is 9. So let's connect it. Do you see it? So we have connected our sleeve. So now let's cut it out. Do you see it? Now this is our off-shoulder sleeve. Do you see the off-shoulder sleeve that we are going to work with? Do you see it? If you want, you check to know if it's going to rhyme with your cloth. Do you see it? It's perfect on it. Do you see it? It rhymes. Do you see it? So now this is our normal sleeve. So let us cut. First I'm going to use this to cut out the sleeve. Then I will use it now to cut out the one to use for the ruffle. Now guys, I've cut out the sleeve. This is the sleeve, one part of it. Do you see it? I've cut it out with our drafts. I've used it to cut it out. So the next thing to do now is to cut out the material, that is the pieces to use for the ruffle. This depends on your choice. You can make it large, you can make it small. How you want is how you are going to achieve it, but let it not be less than your bicep. It has to be bigger so that it's not going to be tight on you. So now I'm going to cut out some pieces which I'm going to use to create my ruffles. Now guys, I have cut out my pieces. The measurement I used to cut it out the width that I use is 13 and the length that I use is 15. So this is what I'm going to use now to achieve my ruffles. So next thing to do now is to use my lining to turn it. But the lining I have is a thick one. It's just like an interfacing, but it's thick. Do you see it? So I'm going to use it now to turn my sleeve. That is the one that I'm going to use to achieve my ruffles. I'm going to use it to turn it. Do you see it? So when I now turn it, I now hem it. But before then, I'm going to trim. I'm going to fold it in this form, then just curve it a little bit here at this edge. I'll curve it at this edge. So I'm going to do that, turn it with the lining, then I'm going to show it to you guys. Now guys, I have folded the upper part of the sleeve, and this is the one to achieve our ruffle. Do you see it? I've also hem it and also top stitch it. That is the one that we are going to use. This is where I said you curve it a little bit. So this is it. Do you see it? I also turn it with the lining and top stitch. And one of the sleeve I have already done it, so I'll show to you guys what we're about achieving. Do you see it? Do you see the sleeve? It's a double sleeve. That is the normal sleeve, and it is the ruffle that comes on it. Do you see it? So that is what we're about to achieve. Do you see how beautiful it is? So what do you do? Now this is the one that we are going to use. So now place your ruffle, place your sleeve in this form. Take your pin, you need your pin, then get your ruffle. This is the ruffle. Just on this point, remember where you curved, you place it there. You pin it. And on this side that you curve, you also place it on this edge of the sleeve. Do you see? Now you start to make your pleats. You make a pleat, because you are going to sew these pleats. I'm going to make about 3 pleats. Just take your time. Or you can also equally remove your pins and make your pleats. So now let's pleat it. That's the first pleat. That's the first pleat. Then you attach it to the point that you curved. You can achieve it in many ways. Also on this side, you pin it. Do you see it? You also pin it. You make your second pleat. close to the first one. Also pin it down. So you make your pleats on this side. You also pin it down. Then you make the last pleat. This is the last one. Do you see it? Also on this side, you make your pleats. Do you see it? That's the 3 pleats. And on the middle, I had to also also run it with a stitch here on the middle. Let me pin it down. That's the center. I'm pinning it at the center. Do you see it? So now I'm going to take the normal sleeve. Now take your normal sleeve. Do you see it? This is our normal sleeve. Just place it on this point that you curved. Place it on this edge and pin it down. And also on this point, you place it also on this edge and you pin it down. Do you see it? Now you make your ruffles. Do you see it? So now when you attach it, it's going to be in this form. Do you see it? It's the same with this. Do you see it? When you attach it, it's going to be in this form. So now I'm going to take it to the machine. I'll sew it, attach it to our sleeve to be complete, and I'll put it on. Now guys, this is our sleeve. Do you see our sleeve, our double sleeve with ruffles? Do you see how it is? So beautiful. It is easy to achieve. You can use it on any style of your choice. Do you see it? So our sleeve is ready. Now I'm going to put it on the mannequin for us to see how it looks like. This is the finished look of our double sleeve. Do you see how it is? I've matched it with the skirts. Let's see the down part of the skirts. Do you see the down part of the skirts? A celebratic fish skirt with patches. Do you see it? So beautiful. And that's the upper side, the blouse with the double ruffle. Do you see it? So beautiful top and skirt. If this tutorial on how to achieve this double ruffle sleeve has been helpful to you, don't forget to like, share and comment on my videos, and please support me to grow this channel with me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to join us on our group page Facebook known as IJ Iconic Fashion, and also follow me on Instagram IJ Designs and on Facebook Iconic IJ. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.